What are we? 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are cool, choose around and proud. No one's gonna stop us. We are here to stay. We are the cool, choose of the rainbow flag. We are moving, moving on and on. Never, never going back. Forward. Moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never going back. We keep fighting, fighting, fighting on and on. Never, never gonna stop. We keep fighting, fighting, fighting on and on. Never, never gonna stop. LGBTI, LGBTI, we are freedom fighters, fighting for our rights, all the children of the rainbow flag.
What are we fighting for?
Fighting for our rights.
What are we fighting for? Tell me what we're fighting for.
Fighting for our rights. Fighting for our rights to be LGBTI. Oh, LGBTI. LGBTI. Going anywhere.
Children of the rainbow flag. Yes, our children of the rainbow flag. Yeah, children of the rainbow flag.
Of the rainbow flag. Hello friends, hi and welcome to yet another episode of the Victor Mukasa Updates Show on what is happening on Block 13 in Kakuma Camp, where LGBTQ plus refugees are under constant attack without protection. And please, I request you all to invite at least 5 friends to this updates show, where we'll be talking about it will be breaking news about the threats that we are all facing because of our engagement in this campaign for the liberation for the protection of LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma Camp. So please just invite 5 of your friends and send this message to your groups too. As we wait just a few minutes. LGBTI, LGBTI, LGBTI. What are we? 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are cool, choose around and proud. No one's gonna stop us. We are here to stay. We are the cool, choose of the rainbow flag. We are moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never going back. We are moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never going back. We keep fighting, fighting, fighting on and on. Never, never gonna stop. We keep fighting, fighting, fighting on and on. Never, never gonna stop. LGBTI, LGBTI, LGBTI. We are freedom fighters, children of the rainbow flag.
What are we fighting for? What are we fighting for? Tell me what we're fighting for.
LGBTI.
We are here to stay.
LGBTI.
LGBTI.
Children of the rainbow flag. Yes, our children of the rainbow flag. Yeah, children of the rainbow flag.
Rainbow flag.
We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are cool, choose around and proud. No one's gonna stop us. We are here to stay. We are the children of the
Rainbow flag. Forward, moving on and on. Bye.
We keep on fighting. Fighting. We keep on
Where are we? Where are we? Well, thank you so much, Brio Bryans. That was from Brio Bryans Productions, a song that he did in 2013 that we popularly know as the Kuchu Anthem in Uganda. The name is Kuchu Anthem. Ugandan Kuchu Anthem. You can find it on YouTube by just typing in Kuchu Anthem. Now, I welcome you back, or again, to this Victor Mkasa show, and it's still going to be about updates from Kakuma. I would like to, first of all, ask my friends at the camp on Block 13 to get ready. I'm not yet inviting you, but please be on standby because we are going to need your word here. I would like to thank all those that are engaged in this campaign. Brian's song says, "We are not going to stop." Let me tell you, the few of you who have believed in what is happening in Kakuma, I would like to let you know that they're telling the truth. I can never put my name behind something that is fake. I have never, and I will not. And I will tell you that I believe the refugees on Block 13 in Kakuma camp, despite the fact that the UNHCR has watered down their reports, has responded with what is not saving them, that some human rights organizations have kept aside when violence, that nature of brutal violence, is happening to just a few members of the human race. Now, I encourage you all that are still standing to keep standing for this piece of humanity. They are only less than 150, but they matter. LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma camp matter. LGBT refugees across the world matter. LGBTQ refugees on Block 13 matter. And right now, they are under attack. And they have called upon us all to stand with them. And I thank all those who have stood with Block 13 in Kakuma camp. I would like to send a special thanks to the first responders, those who are offering counseling to these refugees who are highly, highly traumatized. And this, I'm talking about their children, I'm talking about women and men, I'm talking about others. In Kakuma Camp, I would like to thank you all donors, all those who are contributing to the GoFundMe page that has been set up for Kakuma Camp Block 13. I thank you for what you're doing. We are actually getting some monies there. And I thank the very few human rights organizations that have stood up with us. In way of updates, I would like to let you know that the attacks continue. Even last evening, there was an attempt to murder an LGBTQ refugee. I think it was a gay man. They will let us know. They were saved from men who had machetes running after them. They had to get whisked away on a border. But we will hear from the people who are going to update us from the camp. My apologies, friends. This is not good working from home. Hello? Yeah, somebody will be there shortly. Thank you. My apologies, please. Just a second. I'm sorry about that. I'm just volunteering on this. I'm doing this human rights work on a volunteer basis. At the same time, I have to run affairs in my family. So I apologize for that moment. But I was telling you that the attacks continue. The attacks continue, and they will update us. As you know, we have some fresh victims from attacks on the camp. 4 women sexually assaulted recently, and attacks from other refugees very recently in the night. And then we also, in way of updates still, the donors, you have done an amazing job. The GoFundMe page, we set it at $5,000. At the moment, I think we are about to hit that mark, 5,000. And the money has been very helpful. It's because, again, I say this is pro bono work. I am juggling a lot between advocacy and first responders and the refugees themselves back in Kakuma camp. But the finance officer Bashir at the camp has actually sent in all the receipts, and we just need, I'm trying to find somebody to help me put everything together, and we give you that accountability. But there has been recent donations, a big pool that is coming in, and I would like to tell you that even if we were just fundraising for food and medical access, you know, paying for medical bills and for special meals for those who are sick, we have upped the game. And in fact, today we managed to get some blankets for some refugees there, and we will continue buying some of these necessities as the money is coming. Now, we had set it at 5,000 because we believed in the UNHCR, and we believed that UNHCR would have evacuated these refugees like a month ago, latest. We thought they would have been already in safety. So we are likely to up that amount probably to 7,000 for now. So because the refugees are still in the camp, still under attack, still in need, and still unsupported. It is us who are supporting them. Everybody who is giving even $5, you are supporting these LGBTQ refugees. And there is a lot. They are falling sick with, colds. It's the rainy season. We need to buy vitamins. We need to do a lot of stuff. But I thank you for those who have already done so. And in terms of first responders, we still need more counselors on board. The refugees will tell you themselves what they are going through in terms of their health and counseling services. Now, again, in way of updates, there's something new that has happened. We hinted on it last time. There's been a lot of intimidation at the moment, and this intimidation comes from officials from the UNHCR. The intimidation comes from the Kenyan police, intimidation and blackmail and spread of misinformation coming from even those that call themselves human rights organizations working with LGBTQ issues. A statement was recently issued by one Rainbow something, a refugee something like that in Kenya, a refugee entity organization, saying that they have found information that these refugees are lying. We have heard the police saying that the refugees are injecting themselves with numbing solution or chemicals so that they can cut themselves. You understand? Cut themselves without feeling pain, and then claim that it is the other refugees who have attacked them. Now we have some LGBTQ refugee networks that are claiming the same. And we would love to let you know, because if people are being intimidated by those that should be protecting them, then they need to make it known in order for those who can protect them to protect them. It is ridiculous. A lot of people do not even believe what is happening on Block 13, but it is because it is a network of people and organizations that are trying to hide the truth for reasons obvious. It is for their positions. It is for money, and I can boldly say that. But if we keep standing with these refugees, we are going to create change, and this change will affect, in a positive way, refugees that will come into this camp in the future. There is a lot of dirty work going on, friends, but the stories from Block 13 are real. They are real, even if they are being hidden and being watered down by many. I have put my life there, and I believe Block 13 in Kakuma Camp. So those of you who are out there, I ask you, Kakuma Camp, Gilbert, Trinidad, Anne-Marie, all those who are going to speak on behalf of others, I request you to come here and give us the latest updates in terms of attacks. We would like the latest updates on all the updates regarding intimidation. I would like again to tell you that the UNHCR has still not engaged refugees on Block 13, despite the fact that in their statements they say they have engaged all parties on the ground in Kakuma. The victims who have reported violations have not yet been engaged. They have not gotten audience from the UNHCR. Many people who have written to the UNHCR have not been responded to except through those statements that have a lot of misinformation. Human rights organizations, there are some very key human rights organizations who have also fallen victim of that deceit. And one wonders why a human rights organization, if you do not believe a story, why you do not use your mandate as a human rights organization to go and investigate. Even during COVID, is what we call virtual engagements. It has not happened. If the press is able to get refugees in Kakuma camp, the BBC got them. Power FM in South Africa got them. A lot of paper and print media have got them. Why is it that human rights organizations are not able to speak to these refugees? We will still beg you to engage with these refugees, honorable human rights organizations, local, regional, and international. But for now, let us listen to the updates, and then we can unpack this entire situation afterwards. Kakuma camp. Yes, Gilbert.
Hi, Victor.
Hi, so good to see you alive.
Yeah,
And
great to see you, Victor.
to that intro, I have updated our friends briefly about the recent attacks, because they still continue. And also I updated friends about the intimidation that is going on from those that should be protecting you guys at the camp. And if you could just give us that first-hand info about what is happening there. I know that you mentioned some of it last week, yes, but it would be important to mention it on this show that is specific to this intimidation. and blackmail. So
All right. Thank you, Victor.
you're welcome.
Let me begin. A situation where a transgender man was nearly hacked.
Could you
He was coming from, I beg your pardon?
louder, please? If you could start again, also.
Yeah, I was saying that yesterday we had an incident where a transgender man was nearly hacked, and he had to be whisked away on a motorbike to be able to save him. The man, he's alive. Now, for those out there who think that Kakuma is not as hostile as we say, you're very mistaken. The truth of the matter is that Kakuma is very hostile. And for those of you that are trying to can't change, you have a blend of African cultures in Kakuma as a camp. You have people from East and Central Africa. These are very homophobic countries, Victor. There is no way you take a homophobic man from Sudan, from Burundi, from Congo, from Rwanda, and bring him to Kakuma, and he stops being homophobic. Doesn't make sense. He doesn't need a graduate to see that. It doesn't take a very smart person to see that these are the very people you meet in these already homophobic countries. Now, the homophobes have attacked queer refugees for as long as they have existed in Kakuma. That is on record.
Yeah.
It's not that they are there right now. They're not starting with us. They have started with our predecessors. So for people who are saying we're still together, Victor.
We keep losing. But we keep losing you.
Yeah, I'm here. We were saddened by the post that you highlighted. It was made by Rainbow Initiative for Refugee Connections, something like that. Now, why does it make most of us very sad and actually very scared? One, the very things that they posted out in their document are the very things that we were told when we were summoned to police on the 23rd of July, which is exactly a week ago. It was on the 23rd of July when we were summoned to police. The very stories that you saw in that document were the same stories that the police said. Now one wonders, what's the connection? What's the common interest between the police and the one who posted that? What could they possibly want in keeping us here in a death zone? Now, I wanted to dwell a little bit on that post. The post mentions that we were given heightened security and we pushed it away. Now, Victor, tell me, how does a vulnerable refugee push away police? With the kind of pomp that police has in Africa. You know, they usually pomp us. How dare you? And in the first place, why were they heightening the security if there was nothing? Why would they need security around Block 13 if there was nothing in the first place? That was the first point that the post raised. Now, in the post, obviously the writer admits that there was a need for beefed up security. Now, that's what he doesn't say, which is a shame because he claims to stand for refugees. Secondly, In that very post, they say that we take our injured people, the ones who have already injured ourselves, to far away hospitals and clinics. We are refugees in a camp that has security checks all over the place. On the 19th, Victor, we were attacked in broad daylight. Over 30 people were taken to hospital in Clinic 7, an International Rescue Committee hospital. Obviously, the writer doesn't have a clue as to what is happening on the ground. He lacks basic information of what is happening in the camp. These over 30 people that were taken to the hospital on the 19th were ferried by police patrols and one ambulance. Nothing could be further from the truth. The writer missed a huge point. It's a very reputable hospital. By discrediting it in his post, he made a huge mistake. Kakuma Mission Hospital has a very good reputation. And I do believe, and not just me, but everybody that's associated with that hospital that's been treated there, that the author of that post deserves to apologize to Kakuma Mission Hospital. That was a very grave mistake by the author. But of course, it goes on to show you that the author knew nothing about what's happening in Kakuma. Whatever he picked the information, nobody knows. But as I told you, that's the same information we found at police on the 23rd of July.
Find at the police. What did the police tell you, and where did they intimidate you?
The police said that we were using doctors. We don't have doctors, of course. We have a few nurses. That we are using doctors to numb ourselves so that we could be cut. That's what the police said. And said that some of us were being investigated with a view to being put behind bars. Why? Because we get a lot of money from funders. That was one of the reasons raised. Secondly, they said that some of us were coercing people to join the LGBTQ movement. According to them, it's a movement. They forgot that the registered refugees who need protection, now all they see is a movement. If it was a movement, by now would be somewhere safe. But we're still stuck here because we are refugees without movement passes, without protection. That's why we're still stuck. That's why we're crying out to the world for safety, for help. We were told while at police that we were going to be, I think the officer used that the law is a donkey. It can stamp you or carry you away, something like that. It was not a disguised threat, really. No, it wasn't. It was thinly veiled. We were informed then that they were doing investigations with a view to making arrests. Now, that's the same information that is in a Facebook post. Victor, you tell me, who gave who the information? The author gave it to police of the Facebook post, or the police gave it to the author? Now, between me and you, we don't know, but both have the same information. Now, the question still stands, what do the two have in common? What is their interest? Why would they do anything to make sure that dying refugees are silenced? That a place as homophobic as Kakuma, that has not just begun its persecution of queer refugees, that has long done that, why is it being presented as a loving and caring environment? Why? One wonders. I am in no doubt that a person who goes to the extent of putting out such a post will no doubt stop at that. it's obvious that some of us might get hurt in this process. Because people are desperately trying to keep a lead on what's happening in Kakuma. I don't know why it's important that the events in Kakuma are kept off the media. But I'm being frank with you, Victor, and everybody listening and tuning in and watching, that some of us are really scared for our lives. Because people want silence in Kakuma. And they look determined to have it. They have already buried one LGBTQ plus person this year in the names of Ernest Mwilo. I think they can bury others. We are really scared that we might get hurt just because we are telling the world what is happening here in Kakuma. Now, if I go back a bit to the post.
Yes.
The post said that it had its information from credible sources and said that after the doctors, which they put in quotes, numbing the refugees, then an incision is made. It's shocking, Victor, because on more than 2 occasions, the police has had to shoot live bullets in air here to scare off attackers. They have had to shoot bullets live to be able to scare off our attackers. Now, obviously, the author was not interested in that. You have seen the video of what happened to us when we went to UNHCR.
Yeah,
You've
please
seen the tear gas.
talk about that incident in April.
On April 30th. You've seen the video, you've seen everything. Now, according to the author of the post, we staged these things. So we probably paid the police and the UNHCR to get some cans of tear gas and then wallop us. We paid some Tulkanas, I think, to hit us. Does it make sense to you, Victor? It shows how out of touch, how far from the truth the author is. We don't stage these things. We were beaten mercilessly on the 30th of April by police right outside the UNHCR compound in front of their CCTV cameras. UNHCR officials were standing and watching. In fact, one folded his arms like this in the chest, and he looked on approvingly. How could we have staged that? How could we? We have real life experiences here. For those of you that are interested in the truth, not those that are putting posts to please your funders, to please the organizations that pay you so well, for as long as there are LGBTQ plus persons in the camp, you can easily find the truth. The truth is here. So if you're talking about staging, then you're discrediting even the police that beat us on 30th. You're saying they're actors in this drama. You're discrediting UNHCR whose compound we are sitting.
And what about
you're saying they're actors?
When we look at the video on the 19th when the Sudanese nationals attacked you, we see we see UNHCR, I think ambulance or something like that, taking casualties from the attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, that's what I'm telling you, that a lot of people are claiming we are in touch with parties on the ground. Where is that ground, Victor, for God's sake? Where are these parties? We have not seen any parties come to us. Not even UNHCR that is mandated to. It has not come. If an institution with the resources of UNHCR has not managed to put fuel in their vehicle and come to block 13, how do you expect all these people who are making money out of our suffering to look for the truth? It is a shame that all this is happening and UNHCR is quiet. It's seeing all this. Its silence is endangering us. Its silence is enabling our attackers. Its silence is encouraging those who are making money off our blood. They need to stand out and stand clean. They have never explained what killed Ernest Mwiru, even though he died in front of their offices. That kind of silence continues despite the cost. You know, Victor, at times we think that maybe if we were white, would not be here in Kakuma. Most of us believe that if we were not black in color, would not be here in Kakuma. They would have saved us. So what's this whole fuss about Black Lives Matter? Do they only matter in one part of the world? Don't they matter in other parts of the world? That's the feeling that we have. We can die because our lives don't matter. And where is Black Lives Matter movement? Or they need a dead person to write. Well, they have one, Ernest Mwiru died. What happened? Or they need another body. Well, if this situation doesn't change, they will get more bodies. They will. They can count on that. We shall die not only at the hands of the homophobes, but also at the hands of those that want to keep us in Kakuma and feed off our blood and feed off our flesh by posing as human rights defenders. They are merciless business people. And our lives are all they have in their shelves. That's all they have for sale. Our lives, though they are black, they should matter.
And they matter.
They do matter.
They matter. Gilbert, thank you so much for that update. I also understand that there are people there who have stories of intimidation from the police and from the UNHCR. I know that, I think Trinidad or somebody else there are people who are willing to talk about it. And friends, these people would not be talking about these issues if those who are mandated to protect them were here to protect them. They're only saying these things because they want you to help them. Help them because they're in danger. They are surrounded. It is a network, and it's a very dangerous network. What the UNHCR is saying is the same as some human rights organizations that have been LGBT are saying, is the same as what a network of LGBT refugees that work with certain human rights organizations are saying, while they're not even in Kakuma. It is what the police is saying, who actually is supposed to protect them. There's something fishy that is happening, and we need to stand together to catch them.
And UNHCR is watching. Is quiet all through.
Yes, please, Trinidad.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Yes, I do, Victor.
I have had you on occasions, some shows, and also on Facebook posts talking about intimidations and blackmail from the police, where police tries to tell you to continue doing certain things, you go to jail. And do you want to share about those incidents?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, I want to first say, you know, our Muslim brothers who are LGBTIQs here, they are celebrating their day tomorrow.
Yes.
And I first want to wish them a happy Ramadan Eid al-Adha tomorrow. and to the rest of my brothers and sisters outside the world, until yourself, because we are one. Then, regarding the question you just asked me about the police intimidations, not only me, have I been taken after being arrested over something like fake issue. I finally end up at the police station, and even to the judiciary of Kenya, I mean the magistrate court of Kenya in Lodwar. You cannot imagine, right in an independent Kenya of Kenya, the Republic of Kenya, a policeman comes all of a sudden, he handcuffs you because the magistrate has just said that you either pay a fine or you go to the prison to serve. That's a ruling. No one can go. A policeman whose name was marked comes and cuffs you and tells you that you're an LGBTQ, we can never ever allow you to go free. And cuffs us, and he handcuffed us for more than 3 hours. Denied us from accessing our phones such that we cannot be able to pay using the mobile wallet. Because he just wants us in prison to serve because we're LGBTIQs. Kida is stating it.
So he took you to prison?
Of course he did, because he handcuffed us for 4 hours, denying us to pay, because he was just waiting for a police truck to come such that they can take us to prison in Lodwar.
So then what happened?
Finally, when it comes, the court clerk just catches a glimpse of us getting on the truck. Then she asks, curiously, these people were willing to pay. What happened? Then we told her, no, we haven't been able to access the account number. Then she offers the help. Let me help you, you pay. But again, he comes out, the policeman comes out, tells the court clerk that these people are LGBTIQs, let them go out to the Lodwar prison to serve, because they're not supposed to be in the society here in Kenya, because being an LGBTI, call it homosexuality, isn't allowed in Kenya. Actually, it's a breach of law here in Kenya, according to the articles in their constitution. The court clerk is also diverted. Actually, we saw the whole court chambers coming out to see for themselves who are the so-called LGBTIQs around. The handcuffers up to Lodwar prison.
Is Lodwar prison?
I'm talking about, it's not in Kakuma. We're not supposed to be in Kakuma. Actually, from the first place, we weren't supposed to be in Kakuma court. But because that day, when our court was scheduled, it rained so much that there are no roads, clear roads to take us to the court, that the roads were swept away, the bridges were swept away. We are forced to go the following day, but this time we are supposed to attend to Lodwar court. So this all happened, and of course, the policeman whose names are marked and reserved, I can't mention it here, made sure that we reached Lodwar prison.
Okay.
And alas, the gates of the prison, called them the prison gates, were opened for us. The man sang it like a chorus in a song. These are LGBTIQs. These are shogars, literally meaning to LGBTIQs. They are gays.
So when you got to the prison, the policeman announced that these are shoggers. These are
The
homosexuals.
policeman made sure that he escorted us up to the prison. And when the moment the prison gates were open like this, it was announced, behold, the LGBTIQs are entering, the gays are entering, the transgenders are entering. Actually, I told the prison guards work on them accordingly. By chance, we found some inmates who were working outside the gates there, but inside the outer. These are your fellow inmates. You'll be staying with them inside. Make sure that you work on them accordingly. If you kill one, it counts a lot. You're earning yourself a heaven because in their religion, as a Muslim, as in Islam, it means a lot. Killing an outcast, killing an LGBTIQ, killing what we went through.
So Trinidad,
We're all,
when you were put
yes.
in cells, did those other prisoners do as they had been advised? What happened? What did they do? What did the prisoners do?
When we reached that Broader prison, luckily it was a quarantine day that it was mandatory that we have to stay under quarantine for 14 days. So that means we had to stay in a separate room with the few people whom we found there. Of course, they outnumbered us, but they tortured us. We were the ones cleaned the wards, all the shit that we found. We're the ones to sweep everything, and we were the ones to miss the blankets which they provided. We had to sleep on the cemented floor, a bare ground, waiting for that day to go beyond the quarantine center to the main prison such that they can work upon us. But regarding the food,
Okay.
very many of us.
Trinidad, and so many people have been in jail and have been announced as gay by the police that takes them there.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for that update, Trinidad. There was somebody else there, I think, that wanted to share about police intimidation and threats. I don't know if the one who has information about intimidation from the UNHCR is there. But if somebody has
someone who has ever been at Loda prison for 3 months.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
My name is Mubaraka.
Yes, I remember Mubarak.
I'm among the 4 people who were at Loda prison for 84 days.
Why?
And
we
were arrested in the reception. There was some chaos there, but it was not the LGBTI people. But when the askari came, one of the reception guards came, he just pointed at he just came to where the LGBTIs used to gather in the evening, and that's where it was our place. When he came, he just pointed at us, just pointing. Imagine on that day we didn't even bother to go outside. But when he came, because when you have something suppressing you, you do not keep quiet. Whereas if there was anything wrong, we could go to the office. And so when you tell someone that maybe this one is not going wrong, you are like in the right way, you try to complain, say that things are put in order, they take you as maybe an unruly person. So when the guard came, he just pointed at the 4. There were 2 at first, then the other 2 were brought. But when the guards came, the policemen came, they pointing at us in our area where we were, and we were arrested just from there, asking the reason. They said, no, just keep quiet. We were taken to the police post. We were caught because we are LGBTI. Immediately they started mistreating us, immediately after getting us, just from the outside the gate of the reception. You know, we were first were arrested by the police people, the policemen, and then there is a police superior than the local police. When they came, they immediately started beating us with their guns, with the sticks. Done. And the 84 days we spent in prison, I told you that time, my chest now, I can't carry 2 jerrycans full of water. We were hit, I can show you how my leg is. Are you seeing here? This one were some of the injuries I got from there. We were made to do very heavy work. Wherever we could reach, like we reached at the police station in Kakuma 1. Immediately when we had reached like this, the policeman that had taken us there announced to everyone, even those that were cooking their food, the food for the officers, please come and see the gays, they are here. And whoever could come, they could do whatever they wanted, hitting you, slapping you. You understand what I'm talking about?
Was UNHCR aware?
They did not even mention anything. They did not appear anywhere in those 84 days.
Did they know?
They knew, because what happened in the reception. That's one. The arrest was in the evening, and John, the reception manager, knew what was going on. They even came to the police post where you were first put. They came and some of the people that worked there came and talked to us, asking us, what happened here? We told them, and we thought we were going outside because we had not committed any crime. But unfortunately, they said we are coming. They went. They never came back. The OCS came and talked to us and said, hey, you are the gays they talked about. Hey, you are here. So we are going to show you how things work in Kenya. They went and told the other guys that give them what they deserve. Just immediately give them what they deserve. Saying that being LGBTI is a crime. I don't know, whatever. So immediately he left. Their guys were like a cat seeing a rat. They started beating us. Even one among us who had a transgender, and for him it was worse. Because when they were arresting him, they hit him up to when he blacked out. And they continued beating him. Carried him, threw him on the car, and he was brought to the cell while he was unconscious. From the moment they got to know that whoever could come, throw some words and slapping you, you move outside, they make you like something to laugh at. They moved us and put us in the truck to take us to Kakuma police station. And from there, I don't know. I don't want to remember that moment when we were put in that truck, because we thought our life was ending that day. There were some 2 Somali officers. I don't want always to mention the names here. In your inbox, I mentioned one of the names. On Facebook, there is Naz. You can understand. I don't want to mention the names. But the 2 Somali officers mentioned that one said, had you been to Somalia, you would be dead by now. You would not even be allowed to say anything. Just the heads are off. That's what one said. And when we were put in the truck, one of those Somali officers, the blacks were very furious, but these two were more furious than the others. They hit us, kicking us with rods, with guns. They even, one of them coached the gun like, we are going to kill you today. Today you're done. You said a lot of words, and we thought our life was ending on that day. But fortunately, we managed to survive the 84 days barefooted in this Kakuma sunshine. You know, the temperatures are very high. We spent the 84 days barefooted. And if I can send you the photos I took after I had left the prison, you can see how I was looking very, very ill. Like the body was like of a frog. We managed to survive, but heavy work, my kicking you in the chest, if someone doesn't have any problem. You see what happened to the other black guy there in the United States, where the officer nailed on him. Those are the kind of things we went through because we are LGBT. Saying you know, when they used to speak in Swahili, you fucking in the ass. Where were you? The ladies are here. This is me. At first we used to answer. This is who I am. I can't change it, and it's answering. My goodness, slaps, kicks, and that's when I spent some 3 weeks when I was in prison. I spent 3 weeks when I could not even stand. I could not stand because they had kicked me. The chest is now rotten. The back, the chest, I'm not good. They beat us so badly. They treated us as, I don't know. So that is the kind of life we went through. And when we were brought, we came back to the reception. We were put in the outside. Maybe we thought now we are relieved of the police things. But when we came to the community again, the community members, they don't want to see us. They know us from the reception. They know, those are our shoga. They always say, those are gays. So they know us from their side. And you know, an outcast is the person, you just look at them, and they say, you know what? They are gays. So everyone tells the other, and the other tells the other. So the whole community knows you. Even if you go to another location or another location, they always know you are gay and you will face trouble wherever you go. So when we were treated badly, like we were attacked terrorists, we went to the UNHCR compound, and that story you already know. You know what happened there. You just know what happened there. So I don't know what UNHCR thinks when they say that what is happening to us, we are the ones staging. I don't know. Someone, yes, I heard my chairman said, are we the ones that paid the police to brutally tear gas us and beat us on that day? Even beating.
Friends, the stories in Kakuma are very disheartening. They are very disheartening. Right now, their network is. Uh, we will get them back again. We will get them back, but I would like to go through this again. Really, a series of events have happened. You all know about the attacks. They've been like forever, but there was a brutal one on June 19th. UNHCR has not showed up to engage on this issue yet. They were able to send the police and an ambulance on June 19th to take people to the hospital. Over 30 people were injured. And we've been giving you updates. But remember last week, we told you that out of the blue, the signposts that show you where Block 13, where these LGBT refugees are, were removed. one night. They woke up in the morning and those signposts were missing. Basically, when you go to Kakuma camp now, it will be difficult for you to find Block 13 if you were just reading the signposts because they don't exist anymore. This is about a week now. They don't exist. The refugees reported to UNHCR and they said they have nothing to do with that. Around the same time, Gilbert, the spokesperson of the group, and the lead nurse, who is also one of the refugees but happens to have nurse training, helps with first aid whenever they are attacked, and two other nurses were summoned by the police chief in Kakuma. And they were accused of doing so many things which they mentioned earlier. The same period, like a day after, the nurse is accused of injecting the LGBT refugees with numbing chemicals so that they get numb and cut themselves. That the things you see that are happening to them, they actually do them themselves because they have numbed themselves. This was an accusation from the police. The police also accused them of coercing other people in the camp into their movement, whatever that means. But we have heard about accusations of recruiting people before in the LGBT movement in our countries, where they accuse us of recruiting people into homosexuality. They're also accusing them of receiving lots of money from donors. Not different from what we've been accused of in our countries. And actually, I'm so surprised at some LGBT activists and organizations that don't believe the things that have happened to them themselves. But when it happens to the LGBT refugees, they don't believe this. The same period, a police commissioner in Kenya sent me a friend's request on Facebook. I'm still asking him, what do we have in common? But when I told the refugees, another refugee told me that they received the same request from that police commissioner. They're not hiding. They are labeled as police commissioner in the police with a certain department, some investigation department. When you web this, there is a connection in all these things. Now, there are others in Nairobi who have been threatened by UNHCR and by some human rights organizations. They can't speak. Friends out there are certain things I can't say yet here in the public. But something really horrible, rotten, stinking is happening. Some people are protecting themselves by sacrificing 138 plus refugees on Block 13. Some people have committed crimes. Some people have committed fraud. Some people have abused their power. And it's a network. That is why they are trying to make you believe that these people are hurting themselves. They are trying to get all of us off this case. But if we just believed in each other, and those of us who have the muscle, especially the organizations, if you came in and stood for humanity by doing investigations, if you can't act immediately, at least do investigations. Do private, independent investigations. The question is, if the press like BBC, Power FM, and others can interview refugees on Block 13, why can't human rights organizations do it? Why can't you put them on video and see the police that the UNHCR is talking about? That is not there. You will not talk to these refugees. Are you also involved? We have reputable international organizations. One reputable international organization actually responded to me and said they have done some initial investigation. They have talked to the parties on the ground, and they think this is complicated. Complicated. Is that where a human rights organization should stop at complicated? I will not mention you. But that is what they said. Who is going to protect humanity if those that are mandated to protect are probably involved in the violation of human rights? It has to be you and I. And if we come together, then we have a voice. But it's disheartening to see a human rights activist who has done nothing to even call Kakuma Camp to find out, especially those who know them already judging what is happening and believing what a policeman is saying. Guys, listening to me here, do you believe that these refugees actually have medicine that they're injecting themselves and that is numbing them and that is cut, then they end up cutting themselves? Do you believe that? The videos we have seen, do you believe that that is, what do you call that thing? Video shopping? Do you really believe that? Whoever believes that, prove to us that this is not real. For me, it is my call to all of you who have been a part of this, fighting with us. The LGBT folks on Block 13 are being silenced. That's a reality. And a gay man died in Nairobi. They committed suicide this year, earlier. Inside the compound, the premises of the UNHCR. That story too, they try to push down. Those who try to take out the story are in trouble just because they talk about Ernest committing suicide in the compound of the UNHCR. There's a dead body, for heaven's sake, and that we still remain silent. People are dying. People don't have to be shot for us to say you killed them. Some people, you can kill them by failing to protect them. These people are being killed. I request you all to write to human rights organizations, local, regional, international, in your areas, and ask them what they're doing about these violations. When there is people reporting violations across Africa, have we all had to fly into those areas to confirm that these people have actually been violated? Why is it the case with these refugees? We have signed petitions for people who are suffering in Chad, in Nigeria, in Egypt, in South Africa, in Kenya, in Uganda, in Congo, in Niger, across Africa. But we did not go there. We did not fly into those countries to confirm with our eyes that these people have been violated. We saw videos like we are seeing the ones of the refugees. We listened to testimonies via video lives like this one of women who have been raped, of men whose bodies have been, parts of their bodies have been mutilated, of children who have been abused. We just listen to stories, but because we stand for humanity, we have risen up to the occasion. Why is it difficult for a lot of people to rise up to this occasion where LGBTQ refugees on Block 13 are being violated? Why is it so easy for you to believe that some UN agencies have committed certain crimes when it comes to other people, but it is difficult for you to believe that the UNHCR has failed to protect these LGBTQ refugees? I challenge human rights organizations. Why do you not do independent investigations? Some of us spend day and night on video calls in Kakuma. We know where they sleep. We have seen some of their attackers on video. We know where they get water from. We know where their shops are. Even now, I'm going to put them back on video. They can show you around where they are living, where they are dwelling. Why is it difficult? Is this video shopping? Please write to Amnesty International friends. Write to Human Rights Watch. Write to Outright Action International. Write to ILGA, because there's been no word from the International Lesbian and Gay Association, all those. Write to ILGA Africa. Write to organizations, LGBT organizations in Africa, and human rights organizations in Africa. Write to human rights organizations in Europe and in the United States. When is it a lucrative project? Should we act only when donors make it an issue to fund a certain area in activism? When will this saving of LGBTQ refugees become attractive? When some people start dying and we have news to broadcast? I think the time is now. I think we are in place. We have been called to be defenders in order to prevent these things. So I think this is the right time to intervene. Please write to those human rights organizations. They have the muscle, they have the resources. Some of you are their donors. Some of you are their donors. And I think it is time for them to explain why they're silent about what is happening in Kakuma camp. It is happening in Nairobi. It is horrible on Block 13 in Kakuma camp. LGBTQ refugees have been rendered shit. And we are silent. The few voices we have are not enough. If any of you doubts, if any of you human rights organizations doubts what is happening on Block 13, one of our duties as human rights defenders is to investigate. Have you investigated? But how have you investigated when you have not even talked to the refugees themselves? Joey, I saw your invitation, but you rejected it. So I'm getting Kakuma back on.
Hello, Victor.
Yes, how are you?
Not fine.
Yeah.
Wherever you see such documents, it really feels very absurd, because I wonder why people don't believe us. I just wonder that.
That is exactly my question.
Yeah, they believe people out there when they have not got information from us. We are the victims here. They're supposed to get all the information from us. Come and do investigations. That is what I'm repeating every single day, wherever I talk. Why can't these people do investigations? I suffered a fire, like a fire outbreak. We lost everything. We got these people just one day like this. They have never been back here. They said we set the fire ourselves. Can't you make investigations to conclude with all this? On the 19th, we were attacked. Does it mean that we attacked ourselves? Then it means that the other side was there, this side was here, us LGBTs. Then we attacked ourselves. People got hurt. The world is supposed to look at things like these ones. Yes, you're a writer, they give you information, but also think and figure out the whole story. The videos you see, is it really true or not? You know, yes, UNHCR comes out and says everything they want, but they have to think about us also. Let the world also do their own investigations and make conclusions about everything happening. Because if you see a video, you see people really, really in a war. You say they attacked themselves, women raped themselves. Really? Really? With all this going on, I doubt whether people will just take anything they hear. Back here, it's us who are facing all these things. We are the ones telling the stories. People should come down here to get the real truth. Because these things are true. We have people who really believe in us. The neighbors, they are there to witness, they do witness every single thing going on with our lives. They are there. They are there to provide the evidences they have. So if they come with conclusions that we cut ourselves, a woman, the way we like our bodies, you say I'm going to cut myself because of what? Reporting or giving some false information? Really? Yes, we were at the compounds, we were asking for help. We pleaded. We did not have any harm. We had nothing. It was just a peaceful protest. But I think the whole world saw how the police handled us. Women and kids, we were treated just like terrorists. You know, me, myself, I, Josephine, even though they called me, I can witness. I can tell the truth. They handled me like a real rebel. That is how they treated us. Just a woman, I can't even fight, but that is what they did. And now they're saying we are doing these things on our own. We are the ones facing these things. And neighbors really see everything going on here on the ground. Yes, we cut ourselves, we hurt ourselves. Why would, why? Maybe sometimes when you're lucky enough, you can go to the police and they give you OB. Why would they give us those OBs?
Is John Bosco there with you? John Bosco near you there?
No, he's not near.
Okay, because people would have seen what we are talking about.
Yes, yes, they need to see these things. Why would they give us OBs if we are doing this to ourselves? I wonder. Honestly, there's things that you just need to think of, some little things. Why would you know, today I cut myself, that the other time I come, you give me the OBs, you yourself, the police. It means by the time you conclude to give me the OB, it means you believe these things are happening. Yes. Then why would they go out there and say, we are doing this on our own? People see these things happening. The 4 girls that were attacked, that were assaulted, there were Sudanese people. They witnessed everything going on because they stopped them even entering their houses, their fences, when they were being attacked. They were the real Sudanese that attacked them. And you say now, does it mean that it means that Ugandans came from here and attacked them too? These are real lifetime stories. We have the whole truth. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, we will keep on telling the truth. Yes, we will. Yeah, we are ready. Let them come here, do investigations. We are ready to testify. We have police officers that we really know. We got their names and we have the truth about them. Yes. They talk to us arrogantly, very badly, mocking us, you know. We have all these things. You go to the police to report, they push you away. They say we are tired of your minor cases. A sex assault is a minor case. Really? Is it a minor case? That is what is happening back here. They are tired of our cases. They said in the other statement that we pushed away the police. I just even wonder, us, we push away the police. Can anyone in this world believe that? Just a minor, you push away the police? Really? What you are looking for is protection, because wherever you get something or a problem or you're attacked, you go straight to the police. Then I wonder how they bring you police down here and then you push it away when you need protection.
Is there
These are things that
police right now protecting you for the night?
no. No.
When the UNHCR
No.
say they have strengthened this security system.
They're lying. That's a big, big lie. From the attack, the 19th attack, the police stayed here, I think, for just 4 days, 4 consecutive days. From there, it disappeared forever. Yes, the police was around, and then a fellow LGBT house was set on fire. When the police is around on the ground, ask yourself that. Then they should explain to us that. What does that mean? The police was around and the house was set on fire. Yes, we are not the ones to answer all this. They are the ones to give us answers, because we are also asking ourselves. You're on the ground and we are being attacked. An incident that happened yesterday. One of the transgenders was going to be attacked, was going to be killed. So we still attacked ourselves. We did this to ourselves. These people should know that our lives do matter. Yes, however much we are LGBTs, but we are still human. We are still human. We deserve to be protected. Yes, we do. Everything they are putting up, that we cut ourselves, we nab the bodies and all that. It is not true. It's not true. It's only because they don't have our answers. The world is asking, they don't have those answers. So they are putting us in that picture of being liars and all that. We are not. These things are happening down here. Now, what explains that reason of removing the posters? What explains that? Yes, we are lying. But I guess they said we are a very small group of people. Can't they handle that small group? Yeah, I'm sure they can handle that. They can handle those issues. Yes, you're making up the whole stories. Let them figure out what they can do to stop all that. To me, that is the only solution they can do. Let them figure out what they can do for that small group. Let them do something. Why do they hide from us? If they know that we are doing everything, that we are making up everything, why don't they come and face us? Talk to us. Say, yes, you guys, you're doing this and that, but they can't. They're just in the back. They're just saying things in the back. Why are they hiding? They shouldn't hide. Let them come and talk to us openly. Yes. The world should know the truth. And we are going to continue telling the truth. Nothing is going to stop us, because these are our lives here. Our lives really do matter. Yes, they do. They should come out and do something for us. Yes.
Thank you so much, Henry.
Thank you to Victor.
For the update. I'm gonna have to say goodbye to the group in Kakuma, and we will continue with the live. We will call you. We will call
Yes,
you.
Victor.
Who is this? Okay. All right. Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. That side.
Yeah, this is Amza.
Yes.
Yeah, for the sake I can say it's a good evening because I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for real, it will never be a good evening until we leave Kakuma and Kenya at large.
What's happening?
Yeah. The first story I can give, I was among the 8 people who were arrested upon reasons I can't even identify because we were attacked on a water point
The water
by
point,
a group of,
you were attacked from where you get water from.
yeah, in fact, we were deposited in community for just 3 days. So when we went to fetch water, the members we got there said, this is a very big group of shoggers, they can't fetch water with us. Or maybe UN can establish their own water source. They can't fetch water here.
Hold on, Hamza. When you went to fetch
Yeah,
water, the other
yeah,
refugees found there said that you are a big group of shoggers, meaning homosexuals, and that the
yes,
UN will give you your own water source. You cannot fetch
yes,
water where they fetch it.
yes.
Okay?
And brutally, these Ethiopians brought iron bars, sticks, pangas, and started beating us seriously. They crashed houses. We were rescued by terribly running, but we would have been killed even. So when we tried to go and report that issue to police, instead of assistance, because we knew only police can assist in such situations, but when we reached there, police said, fine, what's your problem? We did explain what was our problem. Then they asked our nationality. We told them we were Ugandans. So they said, oh, when is Shoga? And meaning you are gays, go back. So we went back home. That incident was in the morning. Then at around 1, that's a afternoon, one man came for us, told us that please you are needed at police. So for us, we thought we were going to be assisted. We went. The man who called us claimed he was the block leader. So when we reached police, they assembled us there, then started one by one ordered to enter jail. We were put in jail at Clean 6. We spent a night, then transferred to Kakuma 1 police post. We spent 2 days in jail, but tortured upon officers' orders. One police officer came on the doorway, instructed the fellow prisoners we were with in prison. He used the Swahili word fundisha yeye, meaning teach them. So, yeah, they also taught us because they caned us, they beaten us seriously. And that on the first day we were beaten, then in the morning we were brought out for going to ease ourselves. Then we were sorted out from the other prisoners, then assembled before them. We were assembled, then the one police officer, I think by nationality, could be a Kenyan because he was black. Could be a Kenyan. He introduced us. He reintroduced because they had introduced us before. He reintroduced us to the fellow prisoners that these are shoggers, they are Ugandans, they fought for water, so they are here. Did you teach them last night? The fellow prisoners laughed and clapped. Yes, yes, we taught them. Then, after assembling us, they said, please do the same even this night.
still the same thing happened at night. We were beaten, instructed to remove our clothes. We show them our pens, so that, sorry to mention that, they told us to show them that thing, the pendulum, so that they can see how Shoga's nature is. Eh? And they were orders from the officer. We came out. I think, I don't know how they picked Massey. They brought us out, but not knowing what was the reason for the arrest.
Yeah.
And some of us developed diseases upon such tortures in jail. Like me, right now, even the back is painful.
Did you let the UNHCR know about those attacks that time?
Yeah, I just called this toll-free number, but they say they will follow it up. But up to now, no action has ever been taken, because that thing was in late March, because we were arrested on 31st March and then let out on 3rd April. But they said they will follow it up, but right now, up to now, nothing has ever been done. No office has ever met us upon that thing.
I'm so sorry, Hamza. I mean, all the stories coming out of Block 13 are terrible stories.
Yeah, terrible.
They're terrible stories, but it's friends out there that are listening to you, are watching you, and those who will be watching later are trying their level best to make this to make this a better situation.
Indeed, brother,
yeah.
Kakuma turned to a deadly zone. If not quick action, we are going to die from here. Last time we tried to go to UNCR compound to express how we are feeling in the community, because we were facing rough situations. But brutally, UNCR acted brutally. I don't know what was the intention. Imagine we had children, but the way they handled us, I don't think they had a different intention besides killing. We were not doing anything harm to any person or any property of the NCR, but they brought live bullets, canes, tear gas, and then you claim that you are the UNCR who offers protection to people when you can harm them in such a way. Then they decided to abandon us here at Block 13.
Yeah. And I understand that while at Block 13 about 2 weeks ago, the UNHCR showed up with about 11 people, 8 to 11 people, and dumped them there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like this is a dumping area.
Yeah.
Or maybe they claim this is what?
The LGBT. Yeah. Everybody, I mean, people are watching. People are noting what you guys are saying. And we still, we will not rest until something happens. Something positive happens. All negative things are happening. Negative reports from the UNHCR are coming out. But we shall not rest until a positive move is made.
Right. Please do. But here we are going to die.
All our friends are hearing you. I think it's porridge time now, or not yet.
Oh,
is it
porridge time? Yeah, it's porridge time.
Yeah, you guys should go for porridge. I'm going to wind up the program by summarizing what we have talked about, and then we'll keep campaigning together. I thank you all for being a part of your own campaign and for proving.
You're welcome. We appreciate for your service, please.
A lot of people have shut you down, saying you cannot speak for yourselves, but you are a very, very special group of people. And
we are also human beings.
You have a right to talk about your situations. And you are right. You are human beings and you all matter.
It's true. We matter. Our lives matter.
Okay, Hamza, keep taking
Yes.
good care of yourself. Do whatever you can to protect yourself. And for the rest of you, bye bye in Kakuma. But
Welcome.
let's still go here. Thank you so much. Yes, those are our friends in Kakuma camp. These things continue. That's a very special group of people, and some very special people have stood with them. And I thank you all who have stood with our friends in Kakuma. For those of you who are doubting them, we will find you. We will find you, or you will find us. I thank all those who have chosen to stand on the right side of history. It is true that human rights violations anywhere are huge, and that humans anywhere matter, and that these LGBTQ plus refugees on Block 13 in Kakuma and in Kakuma General matter. It is true that not everybody can be fooled, and we shall not be fooled. I want to take you through this update. Today we're talking about the intimidations from the police and even from the UNHCR itself. We have talked about the signposts. The signposts that show Block 13 have been removed. They have been removed. So if you just came and entered Kakuma camp and was looking, because all the other blocks have signposts now. All blocks had signposts showing you this is Block 13, this is this block, this is Kakuma, this is this. Now, the ones for Block 13, one morning last week, they woke up and they had been removed. So you would have to ask around where Block 13 is. And if somebody doesn't know where Block 13 is, you will never find Block 13. So it's like it's being erased of Kakuma. But in the same few days when this happened, the police chief in Kakuma summoned the leaders on Block 13, accused them of injecting their members with numbing chemicals so that they can cut themselves without feeling pain. They accused them of coercing others into joining their movement and of receiving large sums of money, which are crimes, which are the same accusations we have had in our own countries, which even some of you activists have reported as false allegations against you in your own countries. This is happening to our friends on Block 13 in Kakuma camp. The same day the day after they had been summoned by the police chief and warned, told to shut up. I also received a friend's request on Facebook from a commissioner of police in Kenya. At first, I thought maybe coincidence, maybe this commissioner of police just loves being on Facebook. However, I received another report from another refugee, also received a friend's request from the same police officer. And there is a very good relationship. You can tell why they sent me that friend's request and that particular refugee activist. There have been intimidations of activists who have been dealing with LGBT refugees in Kakuma. In Nairobi, there are some activists who have been intimidated. They are intimidations from even human rights organizations that are probably so afraid of what they have done being exposed out there. They are individuals that even claim that they're advising the UNHCR that have intimidated people. This information will come out, and there's a lot of intimidation. People are using others' personal stories to intimidate them. This is me trying to show you that this is a scheme. Some people will do whatever it takes to keep these few people in Kakuma camp, just for them to protect their names and their reputation and their jobs and their money. And I urge you all to believe what is happening on Block 13. It is real. It can be proven scientifically in whichever way you want. They have wounds. People can investigate, those who went to school to study investigation. They can investigate how fires started in these places. We can investigate video footage and see if it's not video shop. There are so many ways we can find out the truths that are happening on Block 13. The groups that have resources carry out independent investigations instead of just giving up on a group of humanity. International human rights organizations, some of you have joined. I'm not sure if you want me to mention, but they are very reputable international human rights organizations. One in particular that says they've tried to do the initial investigation, but it is a complicated situation. Humanity, complicated situation. We are mandated to protect. We have the resources to protect. We have the muscle to protect. But we are saying the situation is complicated. That is how we make it uncomplicated. That is how we turn it upside down to see what the problem is. It's just that we are not resourced. We are not marshaled. We're just tiny people talking about these issues. But we need you human rights organizations to wake up. Don't come up and say, you believe Kakuma. At least come up and say, we are going to investigate Kakuma. We are not forcing you to believe a situation. We are forcing you to intervene and use the resources you have, the muscle you have, the privilege you have to serve. Because even in this human rights work, some people are more privileged than others. Now it matters how those who are privileged use that privilege and power to protect humanity. I thank organizations, especially in Europe, for standing up for these refugees, those of you in Canada and if you here in the United States. We thank you so much for what you're doing. All the donors, the ones who are giving money on the GoFundMe page that I started, that money is being very helpful. And I have a message to LGBT refugees on Block 13 in Kakuma. LGBT refugees on Block 13 in Kakuma. I wanted to give you this message. I started up a GoFundMe page for you guys. You can all see how the money is coming on. And you all know the reasons why that money is being collected. That money is being collected. Initially, it was for food. And that is why you're able to have a meal a day plus porridge at night, which was not the case before. Thanks to our donors, we are able to have people be taken to hospital. The injuries are healing. We have other people with other conditions that are not due to the attacks that are also getting treatment using those resources. We have had to buy special food or feeding for people living with HIV and AIDS and some other kind of interventions for the children. And it is great on what they are putting on the GoFundMe page. The traffic is increasing. I'd like to tell you all on Block 13 in Kakuma that the money that we are collecting is not to be handed out in cash to everybody. It is not possible. So many of you are writing mails and they're coming back to me saying you're not getting the money in your pockets. It's not to be put in your pockets. It is to buy that meal that you can all collectively have. And that is why we are able to have that meal. At the moment, we are not able to even buy clothes. We are not able to buy cigarettes for those who smoke. We are not able to buy shoes. We know that everything was stolen from you. But please, when you're asking for money, tell the truth about the fact that you're being fed and you're able to go to the hospitals and that you're beginning to get some warm clothes. And if you need money from people, tell them exactly what you want it for. It is causing a lot of confusion when you write an email and tell somebody, I am not eating, when you have just left the line for food. I know some of you by name, but we will not be doing that. talking about people as individuals, but I would like to warn you all that any mistakes you do with how your resources are being used, it affects you. It will affect you all as a group. So I ask you to be very open with what is happening, and what your needs are. I really request you, because it will make the fundraising process complicated. For the donors out there, we have accountability for what is being bought. The initial target was 5,000, and we thought that the Honorable UNHCR would have taken people out a month ago. But however, they are still there in the camp, and while we still fight for their evacuation, they are in the camp and still need to eat and still need to see a doctor, one that treats them with dignity. There are doctors in Kakuma, but there are those that are treating them with dignity, recognizing that they are LGBTQ and it doesn't matter. We are now buying blankets. It's raining, it's cold. A lot of them are sick, are down with a cold. So we are going to up that target to 7,000 in case they remove them out of the camp very soon. But for as long as they're still in the camp, we will still try to request you for your resources. If you can help, put your pocket change, even if it's $5. There's a network that is just putting $5, and that money is helping a lot. This is the reason why we were able to get 20 blankets today. A blanket in Kakuma area is about 450 Kenyan shillings, which is about $5. We can get everybody a blanket so that they can get warm. So please, I encourage you to give and give again, and also share that information. The other call on this live is for you to write to human rights organizations, local, regional, and international, and call them to act, to use their muscle and privilege to ask the UNHCR for answers, and to investigate what is happening in Kakuma. If the media is able to reach our friends on Block 13, it means that human rights organizations can reach our friends on Block 13. We talk to them on video calls every day. The first responders team, and thank you to all first responders, counselors, reach them and counsel them via the internet, on video calls, on Facebook Messenger, and on WhatsApp. It means that human rights organizations can also reach these refugees. They can speak for themselves. You have seen them. They are able to talk about their situation. They're able to take you around that camp. Things have changed. COVID-19. Even here, our doctors are treating us via the internet, via video calls. We are going to dance parties via Zoom, on video calls. Human rights organizations, you have had workshops on Zoom. You can surely talk to refugees in a refugee camp via Zoom, Messenger, or WhatsApp. So please, friends, write to human rights organizations and ask them kindly to help us and intervene in this issue, and be a voice for the voiceless Kakuma people who the UNHCR is not respecting and listening to. You must know that they have not been approached by the UNHCR since the attacks, the last big attacks, and right now they are seeking audience with the UNHCR and are happy to talk to the UNHCR, who will not talk to them. Security issues continue. You have heard that there are intimidations from those who should be protecting them. It means there is a lot that is being hidden here. And me, I'm not afraid to cause that necessary trouble, thanks to John Lewis. I think that what I am doing and what all of you who are engaged in this struggle are doing is not wrong, to highlight the plight of people in Kakuma. You are not breaking any laws, friends, if you say to the UNHCR, please act. You're not breaking any laws if you ask our human rights organizations to act. In fact, you're being human rights defenders and the ones on the right side of history. I thank you all. There will be more updates again on my Facebook page. We'll be tagging many people so that you can see that. I'll be writing down a list of organizations that could be approached by you all. I thank all those international, a few, maybe 3 international organizations that have gotten on board. And that's not enough. We need more. and a few local organizations, regional organizations that have gotten on board. We need more of you to show up and icons. We thank BTS Army. BTS Army is also on board right now. BTS Army is on board, and I think that they are planning to do some kind of fundraiser for the folks on Block 13 in Kakuma. So, thank you, everybody. Adios. Oh, the leadership in Kakuma asked for protests last week. So if any of you can organize protests, I don't know how you're doing it during this period of COVID-19, how you're able to do them, please organize them and call for the evacuation of Block 13 out of that camp, or LGBT refugees in Kakuma camp out of that camp. It's not a place that is ready for LGBT people. And if you cannot do those protests, please continue writing to the UNHCR. In the future, they cannot say that they did not hear from us. Write to the UNHCR, write to those organizations. And as I go off, I will leave you your favorite artist these days, Brio Bryans, originally from Uganda, now in Canada, the composer and performer of the Kuchu anthem, LGBTI. I will leave it here for you, and we will be back in about 2 days with yet more updates. Benon, please write a message. Do you really have to come back online, Benon? Do you really have to come back online? Do you need to do that? I saw your invitation. Just let me know if you really need to come back online. Otherwise, we should be closing this live. We are the children of the rainbow flag. My computer is acting up, so I would rather sing it myself. Brian, please send your request and perform it live for us today. We are Kuchus, no one's gonna stop us. We're here to stay. We are the Kuchus of the rainbow flag. We are moving forward. Oh God, my voice is ugly, but I will have the song play for you now. Adios. Enjoy it.
LGBTI, LGBTI, LGBTI. What are we? What are we? What are we? What are
This is
we?
for you all in Kakuma, Block 13 and elsewhere.
What are we? What are we? What are we? What are we? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are Fuji's run and proud. No one's gonna stop us. We are here to stay. We are the Fuji's of the rainbow flag. Moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never going back. We are moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never going back. We keep fighting, fighting on and on. Never, never gonna stop. We keep fighting, fighting on and on. Never, never gonna stop. LGBTI, 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 LGBTI. We are freedom fighters, fighting for the rights of the children of the rainbow flag. What are we fighting for? Fighting for our right. What are we fighting for? Fighting for our right. Fighting for our rights. Fighting for our rights to be LGBTI. We are here to stay. LGBTI. We are here to stay. LGBTI.
to say anywhere.
Children of the rainbow flag.
We are proud to be.
Yes, the children of the rainbow flag.
We are proud to be.
Yeah, children of the rainbow flag.
We are proud to be the children of the rainbow flag. All right, that's it. And you, friends, on Block 13 in Kakuma, I know you have a big day tomorrow. It is Eid. You're going to be celebrating it. We will find a way of you celebrating it. And I wish you a happy Eid tomorrow, and to all our brothers and sisters on this live show that are observing tomorrow as an important holiday. Happy Eid to everybody. Adios.